Hey guys, Parent Gamer TV here, and today I'm back again with another Adobe Photoshop CS6 tutorial. Sorry I didn't post yesterday. I was actually pretty sick, and I just came back from my friend's house. So today I'm kind of feeling a little bit better. I still have if I sound a little bit weird, my nose is actually kind of stuffy from the sickness. So hopefully that doesn't bother you guys too much. But today in this tutorial, we are actually going to be making a lower thirds. Now if you don't know what a lower thirds is, it's basically one of those things that pops up at the start or in the middle of the video saying leave a like. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make that on Adobe Photoshop CS6. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go to File and you're going to go to New. And then you can name the image whatever you want. So I'm just going to name this whatever. Doesn't really matter. And the width is going to be what you record your videos in. So I record my videos in this resolution because that's the size of my monitor and I can't do really any bigger. I already explained that in my first Adobe Photoshop CS6 tutorial. I already explained that I have a 1024 by 768 monitor and I can't really record any higher resolution like 1920 by 1080. So yeah, that's that. But height is going to be, same resolution. And make sure your background contents are transparent. I just changed that to RGB color. These I just have at pixels, an inch, 8-bit, and that's basically it. So once you're done picking all the options, all you're gonna do is press OK. And then once it loads up, your transparent background is going to pop up, which is what we want. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to make the base for the first step. So you can grab you can grab the rectangle tool or you can grab the rounded rectangle tool. So if you don't have it selected, all you have to do is right click on the on this tool right here. Just right click on it and you can pick whatever one you want. I'm just going to go with a simple rectangle tool. So I think that looks good. You can also change the fill. So the fill is going to be kind of this dark red. That kind of looks pretty good. And the stroke is just going to be black. So I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to make how big as I want. You don't have to make it into you can just make a rectangle how big or how small you want. So let's just make it about that big. Let me just turn this down just a little bit. About there. That looks pretty good. So now what you can do is you can click on the move tool and you will be able to move it around. So I'm going to place it right where you're going to put the lower thirds in. So I'm just going to put it right there because that's where you mostly put it. I think my square is a little bit too small. So if yours is the same problem, if it's too big or if it's too small, all you have to do is press Control T. And then this will give you the option to resize the rectangle, how big or how small you want. So I think that looks pretty good. And once you're done transforming it, all you need to do is press this check button up here at the top right. Commit transform. So once you're done making your base, if you want to add some effects, all you have to do is just right click on the layer with the rectangle and go to blending options. So now what this will do is it will bring up this tab and you can actually make this as cool as you want. So I'm just going to be adding a gradient overlay. So if you want to add a gradient overlay as well, you can. If you want to add a color overlay to make it kind of like a mixed color, you can as well. But I'm just going to be adding a gradient overlay so it kind of has a metallic feel to it. So as you guys might see, if you click on gradient overlay or color overlay, it will change to a completely different color or gradient. Now to fix that, all you have to do is just tone down the opacity just a little bit so it kind of looks pretty cool like that. So you can change the angle. You can also change the scale of it. So it can look like that or that. I don't really like that in my opinion. So I think that looks pretty good. A 90 scale is, I think that's the default. But yeah, so I'm also going to be adding another stroke, but this one's going to be white this time. So it kind of looks like that, which is pretty cool. I'm probably gonna keep the size at 5. So I think that looks pretty good. And I'm also going to add bevel and emboss so it kind of looks 3D. So I think that looks pretty good. And one more effect I'm going to add, you probably might want to add this one as well, a drop shadow. Now what this will do is you can actually make the opacity 100. That's what I like to do. It kind of looks like it's popping out, so you can actually move it, but I like to keep it where it is already. So just make the distance as far as you want. So I think that looks pretty good. And you can make the spread a lot, or you can make it low. I'm gonna put it right about there, and the size is going to be probably there. So I think that looks pretty good. So once you're done picking all your effects and you think it looks pretty good, all you have to do is just press this button right on top of here. Okay. So what that will do is that will save the effects to your rectangle, and it will have it so you can actually move it around and it's still like that. So it's pretty cool. So now I'm just going to put it back where it was. So now what we're going to be doing is adding the text. So you can add subscribe to my channel. You can do I think you can do shout outs with this. You can also follow me on Instagram, friend me on Snapchat, and then put your Snapchat name. But I'm just going to be doing a simple one, leave a like. So all you need to do is go to this horizontal type tool, just click on it, and mine has to load up for a little bit since it's such a powerful tool. And there we go. So I recommend typing outside of the rectangle, because if you type inside, it kind of gives it kind of like a barrier. So when you type it outside, it doesn't give it any barriers. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to be typing in a simple message, leave a like, and of course exclamation mark. So you can change the color. So let me just press this check up here. So I'm probably going to change the color probably to like that looks pretty good. So you can change the color. And okay, so now if you go to the move tool, you can actually move this wherever you like. So if yours is a little bit too small, or again a little bit too big, all you need to do is hit Control T, and Control T, and you will have the option to resize it. So if you want to resize an image or text or anything, if you want to resize it and make it stay in proportion, all you have to do is hold Shift and then size whatever you're trying to size. So I'm just going to I think that's pretty good. So let me just make it kind of like that. I'm gonna put it right there. So I think that's pretty good. So you can resize it, do whatever you want. You can move it around, but once you're done transforming it and everything, just press this check up here in the right, commit transform, and then once you press the check, you can actually move it around still and do everything you want. So right now what I'm going to be doing is I'm also going to be adding some effects to this. So all you need to do is just right click on the layer, go to blending options, and then you will have the option to actually add some effects to this as well. So I'm going to be adding another gradient overlay since I love how it looks. I'm going to be adding a stroke so it looks a little bit easier to see. Let me just hold this down just a little bit more. Make the scale about there. That looks pretty good. So and I'm also going to be adding kind of a drop shadow. Just make the distance a little bit farther. So wait, let me just make it a tiny bit. There we go. So that looks pretty good. And once you're done, you can also pick a color overlay, but I just like adding the gradient overlays because I think it looks pretty cool. So you can change the gradient. You can also add this like rainbow gradient. You can add any of the ones that you pick, and you can also make some by just clicking on that. And you can make the gradients. So I think that looks pretty good. So actually I'm just going to be making this black and white gradient. There we go. So I think that looks pretty good. So once you're done clicking all the effects, all you need to do is just go to the button that says OK, and the effects will save, and you can still move it around as it is. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be adding a little thumbs up, not a thumbs up button, but I'm actually going to be adding like a thumbs up like image. So what you can do is you can just go to any search engine you have. So I usually use Google Chrome. So you can just go to Google Images, or all you need to do is just search up all you need to do is just search up whatever image you're trying to find. So you can do the subscribe logo, but since this tutorial is just going to be on the like one, I'm just going to do a like one. So thumbs up PNG, here we go. Already on there. So since I already made a lot of other lower thirds, but I thought I'd just make another one. So this one, it's supposed to make sure it's PNG, so you don't have to cut anything out after you paste it onto Photoshop. So I think this one looks pretty cool. So I'm going to be adding this one. So when it has the transparent background, that's how you know it is PNG. So once you pick your image, all you need to do is just click on the image, right click on the image, and press save image as. And make sure it's all loaded up first, and make sure like the transparent background has loaded up, because if it hasn't, then it's going to save as probably like a JPEG file or somewhere in that format. So the file name, I'm not just going to change that. I already downloaded this because I was trying to do some other tutorials, but I kind of failed. So so this one is going to be the one I'm uploading. So let me just save this to my computer real quick, and once it is done saving, all you need to do is go back into Photoshop and hit Control O. Let me just reach over here. So hit Control O, or you can just go to File and Open. But I like using that little shortcut. What you can do is you can go to where the image has saved. So mine's saved in Pictures, and let me just try to find it. So it was titled Thumbs Up, so it started with a T. So sorry guys, I have a lot of I know I should change it. I have a lot of stuff. Not stuff. I have a lot of stuff on my a lot of images on my computer. Sorry, I couldn't get the word out of my mouth. But once you click on it and press open or whatever it says, the image the image has popped up, and now what you can do is you can actually paste it onto here. So what you can do is you can hit Control A, C, and then go back to the main frame and Control V, and this will actually paste it onto the main layer, which is the lower thirds. So again, to keep it in proportion while you're resizing the image, first hit Control T, that's the most important part. But then you can resize it and make it how small, and you can also tilt it. I like doing that. So let me just place that there. So you can also move it. So I think that looks pretty good. So once you're done transforming it, all you need to do is just hit this check button right up there. So again, I'm going to be adding some effects to this. So if you still don't know how to do it, right click on the layer and go to blending options. And then of course the layer style tab will pop up, and you will be able to add some effects to this. So I'm going to change the color of it. So I think I'm just going to make it kind of like a light red. I don't really know, probably just a dark red. So I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm also going to be adding a stroke. Yes, a stroke, so it's easier to see. I'm going to make this one white, because why not? And make the size just a little bit bigger. So I think that looks pretty good. And I'm also I don't think I need a drop shadow on this one. I'm also going to be adding a bevel and emboss, so it kind of looks 3D. So I think that looks pretty good. So once you're done picking all the effects, all you can just press is OK. So I think this lower thirds actually looks pretty good. So now I just want to save it to my computer. So all you need to do is you can just go to File. Oh, there's my cursor. You can just go to File and go to Save As, or Shift Control and S. And the file name, you can change it from here. But make sure you put the format as PNG, PNG, and PNS. And put it wherever you want. I'm going to put it into saved pictures because that's where most of my Photoshop creations are. So save. You don't need to mess around with the PNG options. It's already good enough, so just press OK. And there we go. So now that it is saved to your computer, you can add it into your editor, and you can add some sound effects to it, so it looks pretty good. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please give a like down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the post notifications button so you will be notified when I upload, because I will be doing some more Adobe Photoshop CS6 tutorials like this one. Wow. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.